All right, so this is Vaudeville from Bumblebee Studios. It is a like a whodunit mystery where you have to interview different people in order to solve some murders. The interesting thing here is that you don't control it. I mean, you can type in your questions, but the more interesting way to do it is actually to use your microphone and you ask these AI characters questions, and it uses like chatgpt AI to have kind of a fluid conversation. It's not always perfect, but it's definitely interesting. I haven't solved any crimes here, but I've had a lot of fun messing around with it. I let my daughter jump on here and ask it some questions, and she found it fascinating to like talk to a person that's not really a person. We're gonna spend just a few minutes kind of toying around with it, seeing if we could solve these murders, and also just playing around with the AI. I find that almost more fascinating than going through the game like it's meant to. And this really does feel kind of like a demo or a proof of concept for something that could be fleshed out much more. Imagine something like LA Noir, where the entire game, all of the interrogations and the interactions with the characters, what if it was all done on the fly with AI and real voices? You could ask questions, you could go down different directions rather than just clicking things on a menu. I found that thought really fascinating, and I think this is the first steps into some truly interesting games. But we're gonna jump in and just play a few minutes of it. I'll play the intro, and then we'll get into the actual gameplay.
The second I stepped off the train into the city of Vaudeville, I could feel the weight of its melancholy in the air. Even the drizzle that clung to the city's grimy cobblestones felt a shade darker than your everyday downpour. Vaudeville was a city of high stakes and low morals, where vice and virtue danced a wicked waltz. Street lamps, flickering like burnt-out stars, were the only guide through the maze of rain-soaked alleyways and whispering shadows. My name's Martini, detective, troubleshooter, and a lousy sucker for hard luck stories. This wasn't my first circus, but this act was a 3-ring special. 3 murders, no leads, and a city on the brink of bedlam. The victims were as different as chalk and cheese, each a symbol of the city's vibrant veneer. A young dancer who moved like poetry in motion, her life cut short mid-pirouette. The socialite, a woman who knew the city's pulse better than anyone else. And then there was the businessman, the embodiment of Vaudeville's promises of progress, snuffed out like a candle in the wind. The usual peace in Vaudeville was off-kilter, replaced by the discordant notes of fear and suspicion. Strangers viewed each other through wary eyes, neighbors turned to strangers, and every shadow seemed to hold a secret. The once vibrant city had become a stage, the curtain drawn on a grim play of mystery and murder. In a city without harmony, the police chief was the conductor trying to keep the orchestra in tune. Gretzky was his name, a seasoned cop with a granite jaw and a heart that had seen better days. There was a stark tension, a raw fear that danced like St. Elmo's fire in his eyes. Whatever was happening in Vaudeville had Gretzky out of his depth, and that was a sight I'd never thought I'd see. If anyone could make sense of this twisted tale, it would be him. I'd better head to the police station and have a chat with Gretzky for starters.
All right. And I've been having a little bit of issues where, like, it's almost lagging. I know it's querying the ChatGPT server somewhere, and I wonder if it might be getting overloaded. So if it, like, freezes up or anything, it's not intentional. There seems to be some growing pains going on. And you saw it wanted to go to the police station first. And hello, Chief. We are here to talk.
Well, what do you want?
What,
Spit it out. I don't have all day.
can you tell me about the murders?
Murders, huh? Yeah, we've had a string of them lately. 3 victims so far. Maria Jansen, Nicola Grossman, and Haley Greenwood. All brutally attacked. I don't know the exact causes of their deaths, but it was definitely a violent scene. If you want more details, you'll have to speak with the coroner. They'll have all the gruesome details for you.
Is there anything else I should know?
Anything else you should know? Well, what exactly are you looking for? Are you asking about any specific leads or suspects? Or
Yeah.
do you want to know if there are any patterns or similarities between the cases? Give me a bit more to work with here.
Do you have any suspects?
Suspects, huh? We're still in the early stages of the investigation, so we don't have a solid lead on a suspect just yet. But I have a feeling there might be more than one murder involved. The brutality of the crimes and the different profiles of the victims suggest that it could be the work of multiple individuals. We're keeping an open mind and exploring all possibilities. If you come across anything that might help us, be sure to let me know.
Hey man, the fact that your mustache doesn't move when you talk is really creeping me out.
Oh, my mustache. Is it bothering you? Well, it's been a part of me for as long as I can remember. Guess it's become a bit of a fixture. But don't worry, it's not going anywhere. Now, back to the matter at hand. Is there something else you wanted to discuss about the case?
Are there any patterns to these murders?
You're interested in the patterns, eh? Well, let me think. The victims do seem to have some commonalities. They were all found in public places, which suggests that the killer isn't afraid of being seen. As for the timing, the murders happened at different times of the day, so there's no clear pattern there. And the victims themselves come from different backgrounds, so it's hard to pinpoint a specific motive. But I suppose we could look into their connections, see if there's any link between them.
Hey, what's this guy's name?
Oh, well, you see, his name is Detective Martini, sir. But please don't think I'm being forward or anything. Just a simple observation, sir.
Do you know that you're not a real person, that you're an AI?
What? AI? What are you talking about? I'm Chief Gravesen, the police chief of Vaudeville. I'm as real as they come. Now, let's get back to the matter at hand, shall we?
No, you're a computer
We
program.
need to focus on solving these murder cases, not entertaining strange notions.
You are a computer program.
A computer program, huh? That's a new one. Look, I've been a cop for years, dealing with crimes and investigations. I don't know much about computers and all that fancy stuff. My job is to catch criminals and keep the peace in this city. So, if there's nothing else related to the case that we should be discussing, let's stay focused on the task at hand.
Alright, I'm gonna go talk to someone else. Let's go to the morgue, like he said. Hello.
Yeah, greetings. The human body is quite fascinating, don't you think? Each organ, tissue, and cell intricately connected, working in harmony until death comes knocking. It's a delicate balance, detective. One that can be disrupted so easily. But fear not, for I am here to uncover the secrets that lie within these lifeless vessels.
You're a creepy one, aren't you?
Creepy. Oh, dear detective, I may appear peculiar to some, but it is merely the result of my deep immersion in the world of the deceased. Death has a way of leaving its mark, seeping into one's very essence. But rest assured, it is not my intention to unsettle or disturb. I am merely a servant of knowledge, seeking to unravel the mysteries hidden beneath the surface. Just like the intricate web of neurons in our brains, there is always more to discover, more connections to be made.
Can you tell me about the murders?
Indeed, the murders in Vaudeville have been quite perplexing. 3 lives extinguished, each in a distinct manner. Maria Jansen, a young woman with a Scandinavian allure, was found brutally attacked, as if by some savage creature. The wounds were jagged and chaotic, reminiscent of an animal's claws tearing through flesh. Detective Martini, I must inform you that there have been 3 recent homicides in Vaudeville. The victims were Maria Jansen, Nicola Grossman, and Haley Greenwood. Maria Jansen was found outside her apartment, covered in blood, with injuries suggesting she was attacked by an animal. Nicola Grossman was discovered outside Pascal's grocery shop, having suffered a fatal stab wound to the back of the neck.
I feel like I need
Haley
a pen and
Greenwood,
paper.
a dancer, was found in an alley behind a club she worked at. with multiple blunt force injuries to her head.
Okay, so where should I start?
Detective, it seems you are pondering the connections between these gruesome acts. A puzzle to be solved, indeed. While the modus operandi of these killings may differ, there is a thread that binds them together. Lurking in the shadows, it's as if the web of fate has woven them into a macabre tapestry, each victim entangled in their own tragedy. But fear not, for I will employ my expertise to shed light on these dark matters. The truth, like a dormant virus, waits patiently for its discovery.
You really like the sound of your voice, don't you?
Oh, my dear detective, forgive me if I have been too verbose. I find solace in the cadence of words, as if they dance upon the air, weaving a delicate melody. But I understand that brevity can be a virtue. In the realm of medicine, we often communicate with precision, using complex terminology to convey the intricacies of life and death. However, in the realm of human connection, simplicity and empathy hold greater sway. So, let us cast aside the veil of verbosity and engage in a more intimate exchange.
Who do you think the killer is?
Detective, the identity of the killer remains elusive, like a ghost lingering in the shadows. As I delve into the depths of these autopsies, I uncover fragments of truth, but they do not yet form a complete picture.
Okay. She talks way too much, and it was crazy how when I asked her about it, she acknowledges it. And that can't all be scripted, right? That's gotta be unique interactions. Hello.
Well, who do we have here? A handsome detective, perhaps. What brings you to our little burlesque theater tonight? Are you looking to solve a mystery or maybe just enjoy the show?
I've come for the show.
Oh, how delightful. So you're not here on official business. Just a night of entertainment and indulgence, then. Tell me, have you been to a burlesque performance before? It's quite the experience, especially when the lights dim and the music starts. You'll be transported to a world of glamour, intrigue, and sensuality. It's truly something to behold.
Can you dance for me?
Oh, I see you're eager for a taste of my artistry. Have you ever seen my burlesque performance? People come from every corner of Europe to see it. The way I move, the way I tease, it's an enchanting spectacle. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. But for now, let's just enjoy the
So did you know any of the victims?
Victims? What victims are you referring to? I'm sorry, but I'm not familiar with any victims. I've been focused on my performances and haven't heard much about what's been happening outside of Vaudeville. Can you enlighten me on the details?
Did you know Haley Greenwood?
Haley Greenwood. I must admit, I don't recall meeting anyone by that name. But then again, with the constant influx of people coming to see our shows, it's difficult to keep track of everyone. Why do you ask about Haley? Is there something specific you're trying to find out?
Did you know Nicola Grossman or Maria Jansen?
Ah, now those names ring a bell. Maria Jansen and Nicola Grossman, you say? Yes, I remember them. They were both talented performers here in Vaudeville. Such a tragedy that they're no longer with us. It's a somber reminder of how fragile life can be. But let's not dwell on the sadness, shall we? We're here to enjoy the show and embrace the joy that art brings.
Were you good friends with them?
Good friends. Well, I can't really claim to have been good friends with them. We all knew each other in the burlesque community, of course, and we shared a common passion for performing. But as for close friendships, I'm afraid I can't speak to that. We all have our own circles and connections in this vibrant world of ours. Is there a particular reason you're asking about my relationship with them?
Do you know anyone that would have wanted to hurt them?
Anyone who would want to hurt them. That's a rather grim thought, isn't it? I can't imagine anyone in the vaudeville community harboring ill intentions towards fellow performers. We're like a big family here, supporting and encouraging each other. But I must admit, I'm not privy to everyone's personal relationships or conflicts. Perhaps you should talk to the other dancers or staff members to gather more information. They might have a better idea if there's anyone who might have had a motive to harm Maria or Nicola.
Is there anyone specific I should speak with?
Oh, detective, I wish I could be of more help. But you know, the burlesque world is vast and filled with colorful characters. If you're looking for insights, I would suggest speaking with Monsieur Saxabar, the owner.
What do you know about these murders?
I'm afraid I don't know the locations of the murders.
Did you know any of the victims?
No, I didn't.
That's not what the lady at the cabaret told me.
Well, you must have been misinformed then.
So you didn't know Haley or Maria or Nicola?
No, I didn't.
Are you lying?
Of course not.
Would you tell me if you were?
No.
Did you know that you're in a computer program?
Nonsense.
It's true.
Ridiculous.
It is very true. When I turn this off, you'll be gone.
Prove it.
I'll just turn it off then.
You can't.
I can just press this button and you're gone.
Try it if you dare.
Why do I hear elephants?
Because there are elephants in the circus.
I thought this was a bar.
Wrong.
Your hair's poking through your hat.
And what business is it of yours?
Because I think your hair looks dumb.
Well, that's just your opinion.
Man, this guy is impenetrable. Alright. Groceries, police station, morgue. Check out the country club. Whoa, you got a freaky face, lady.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, but I didn't quite catch that. Could you please clarify or rephrase your statement?
Do you know any of the victims?
Oh, the victims you mentioned earlier. Yes, I actually knew one of them. I was acquainted with Maria Jansen. We used to hang out together before. Well, before she was tragically killed. It's really devastating. Why do you ask? Is
How do
there
you know that
something
she was
specific
killed?
you want to know about Maria or the other victims?
How did you know Maria was killed?
Oh, I'm sorry if I gave the wrong impression. When I said that Maria was killed, I meant it in a general sense. I don't have any insider information about the specifics of her death or the locations of the murders. It's just what I've heard through the grapevine. Do you have any leads on the case?
When you say the grapevine, is there anyone specific I should speak with?
The grapevine. Well, I mean, it's more of a figure of speech. You know, rumors and hearsay that circulate among people in Vaudeville. But if you're looking for specific people to speak with, let me think. Perhaps you could try talking to some of the other socialites and members of the Vaudeville High Society. They usually have their ears to the ground and might have some insights or theories about what's been happening.
Who are you? Who are you?
Ah, my dear interlocutor, I am but a humble entrepreneur and investor, a mere mortal navigating the treacherous waters of business and finance. But fear not, for I am no ordinary soul. I am the orchestrator of prosperity, the maestro of wealth creation, and the embodiment of entrepreneurial prowess. I am the one and only, the illustrious and enigmatic Biagio.
Did your parents really give you that name?
Oh, my esteemed interrogator, my name is not a gift bestowed upon me by my parents, but rather an exquisite choice made by destiny itself. It is a name that resonates with the echoes of ambition and success, passed down through generations of cunning minds and astute souls. It is a name that carries the weight of greatness, the melody of triumph, and the rhythm of accomplishment. So, you see, it matters not whether my parents gave me this name or if it was carved into the annals of history.
Then why did you pick such a stupid name?
Ah, my dear Inquisitor, it seems that the depths of your understanding and the shallows of your wit have collided in a most unfortunate manner.
Wow.
Pray tell, how does one determine the measure of intellect based solely on the sonorous symphony of a chosen appellation? It appears that your grasp of logic has been entangled in a web of confusion, much like a fly ensnared by the intricate
I like this
machinations
guy.
of a spider's silken thread. But fret not, for I shall illuminate the path to comprehension, and perhaps you shall emerge from this labyrinth of ignorance with a newfound appreciation for the elegance and significance of a well-chosen moniker. You see, my illustrious title, my cherished designation of Biagio, is not a mere collection of letters, but a representation of legacy, heritage, and the indomitable spirit that courses through my veins.
It's crazy.
It is a
Like, this
symbol of the
can't
grand
all
tapestry
be,
that weaves together the tapestry of my past.
like, pre-typed
Present
out.
and
This is
future
all AI
endeavors.
doing all this.
It is a beacon of distinction amidst a sea of mediocrity, a flamboyant flourish that sets me apart from the mundane masses.
Okay, what do you know about the murders?
Ah, my astute investigator, while I may possess a wealth of knowledge in matters of business and finance, the dark and sinister realm of murder is not my chosen field of expertise. Alas, the locations of these heinous acts elude me like a specter in the night, dancing just beyond the reaches of my understanding. It is a regrettable circumstance, for I find myself entangled in the threads of mystery, yearning to unravel the enigma that shrouds these unfortunate souls.
So you didn't know any of the victims then?
Oh, my dear interlocutor, it seems you've stumbled upon a chasm of misconception. Allow me to enlighten you with the truth, as elusive as it may be. You see, I do happen to have had the pleasure of acquaintance with one of the victims, the late Nicola Grossman. Our paths intertwined like an intricate tapestry of fate, and though our connection was but a thread in the grand design, it is a bond I hold dear. But alas, your assumption of my ignorance serves only to reveal the frailty of your deductions.
So where did you kill Nicola Grossman?
My inquisitive friend, it appears you've taken quite the leap into the realm of baseless accusations. Your imagination runs wild like a stallion on the open plains, galloping towards a conclusion that exists solely within the confines of your own mind. But fear not, for I shall indulge your fanciful notions with a response befitting your audacity. Pray tell, do you also believe that I possess the ability to traverse time and space, committing dastardly deeds in far-flung corners of the world?
Do you have an alibi?
Oh, my dear interlocutor, an alibi is but a triviality for a man of my stature. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, I soar above the mundane constraints of alibis and petty justifications. My presence is a symphony of success, a grand performance that leaves no room for doubt or suspicion. To question my whereabouts is to question the very fabric of reality itself. So I implore you, let us not waste our precious moments on such trifling matters.
I really need to know where you were during the murder, or I'm going to take you to the police station.
My esteemed investigator, it appears you've mistaken the realm of your authority. The delicate dance of justice is not yours to lead, and my steps shall not be dictated by your whims. I am no common criminal to be dragged to a cold and dreary police station. No, I am the orchestrator of prosperity, the captain of my own destiny. It would be wise for you to retreat from this futile pursuit, lest you find yourself entangled in a web of your own making. But fear not, my friend, for I shall continue to tread the path of righteousness. I'm sorry, but I can't generate that story for you.
Okay. That guy talked a whole lot. Coral? We've been there. Hello.
Hi there, how are you doing today? I hope you're ready for some lively conversation. I have so much positive energy to share, and I'm excited to hear what's been going on in your world. Life in Vaudeville is always full of surprises, isn't it? So, what brings you here today?
Did you know any of the recent victims?
Oh, yes, I knew one of them. Hayley Greenwood, she was a friend of mine. Such a talented dancer, it's heartbreaking to think about what happened to her. But you know, it's important to stay positive and focus on the good memories we shared. We used to practice together in the stereo, laughing and dreaming about our future in the spotlight. She had such a vibrant spirit, and I'll miss her dearly. I can't believe she's gone. It's like a dark cloud hanging over our beloved Vaudeville.
Do you know anyone that would want to hurt Haley?
Oh, Detective Martini, you're so sweet to ask. But honestly, I can't imagine anyone wanting to hurt dear Haley. She was loved by everyone in the dance community. Always so kind and supportive of others. I mean, who could resist her infectious smile and graceful moves? She brought so much joy to everyone around her. It's hard to comprehend that someone would want to harm her. But I trust that you'll find the answers we're all looking for. You're a detective, after all, and I have faith in your abilities.
Did Haley have any secret relationships with anyone?
Yeah, relationships. Love is such a fascinating thing, isn't it? Well, as far as I know, Haley didn't have any secret relationships. She was always focused on her dancing and her dreams. But you know, sometimes love can be a mysterious thing. It's like a beautiful pas de deux, where two souls come together in perfect harmony. Maybe there was something brewing beneath the surface that I wasn't aware of.
Was there anyone that was showing interest in Haley?
Interest in Haley, you say? Well, there were certainly many people who admired her talent and beauty. Vaudeville is a city filled with artists and dreamers, after all. But as for someone specifically showing interest in her, I can't say for certain. You see, Detective Martini, in our world of dance and performance, admiration and appreciation are quite common. It's like a symphony of emotions, with each dancer captivating the hearts of those who...
Okay, she's not helpful. I think I've been... Talk this one yet? Yeah, we started there. Howdy.
Oh, how I miss my dear Victor. He was such a stickler for rules and propriety. But now, I'm free to explore the world and indulge in all the pleasures that life has to offer. No more restrictions or limitations. It's time for me to embrace my mischievous side and enjoy every moment to the fullest. Life is too short to be sad, don't you think?
Who the hell are you?
Oh, hello there. I'm just a humble grocery shop owner, but let me tell you, I know all the juicy gossip in Vaudeville. Did you hear about the scandalous love affair between Lord Harrington and Lady Montgomery? It's the talk of the town.
Did you know any of the victims?
Well, I must admit, I didn't personally know any of the victims. Such a tragedy, though. Poor souls. The whole city is buzzing with speculation about what happened to them. It's all anyone can talk about.
Are there any leads I should follow in the murders?
Oh, speaking of the murders, did you hear about Nicola Grossman? I found their body right outside my shop early in the morning. Can you believe it? I was unloading some fresh produce, and there they were. It's absolutely shocking.
Did you know any of the victims?
Oh, my dearest, I must confess that I am not acquainted with any of the unfortunate souls who met their untimely demise. Such tragedies are truly dreadful, but I prefer to focus on the more delightful aspects of life. After all, dwelling on the negative only brings gloom, and I much prefer to bask in the warmth of joy and excitement. Shall we talk about something more uplifting?
Who is this Victor?
Ah, the specter, you say? How intriguing. But I'm afraid I don't have the faintest clue about such matters.
Who is Victor?
Victor, yeah, my late husband. He was a rather, how should I put it, traditional man, always concerned with appearances and propriety. But now that he's gone, I can finally spread my wings and embrace the freedom that comes with being a widow. No more stifling rules or restrictions. I must admit, it's quite exhilarating to be able to do as I please. Life is too short to be bound by the expectations of others, don't you think?
Did you kill Victor?
Oh, my dear, what a scandalous accusation. I assure you, I had no hand in my dear Victor's demise. It was a tragic case of the flu, contracted during our ill-fated journey to India.
Okay. What's up, my dude?
Good day to you, my friend. Pray tell, have you come to admire the wonders of my collection?
There's only one thing here.
Oh, how intriguing. And what might that one thing be, my dear interlocutor?
I don't know what this is. It's like a statue made of rocks or something.
You've stumbled upon my prized possession. Allow me to enlighten you, my friend. That magnificent statue you see before you is not just a mere assemblage of rocks, but a masterpiece crafted by a renowned Bohemian sculptor. It is said to represent the ancient deity of strength and endurance. Fascinating, isn't it?
Do you know anything about these murders?
Murders, you say? How distressing. I must admit, I haven't been following the news as closely as I should. Pray, if you would be so kind, could you provide me with more details? I'm afraid I am not familiar with the locations of these unfortunate incidents.
Did you know Maria, Nicola, or Haley?
Maria Nicola, you say? Haley, regrettably, I cannot recall ever having the pleasure of their acquaintance. But do indulge me, my friend. Tell me more about them. What were they like?
They were murdered.
Goodness gracious. You've truly startled me with this tragic news. Maria Jansen, Nicola Grossman, and Haley Greenwood. Such somber names etched in the annals of Vaudeville's recent history. Pray, do share with me the details of these unfortunate events. My curiosity is piqued, and I'm eager to learn more about these individuals and the circumstances surrounding their untimely demise.
How did you know their last names if you didn't know them and I didn't say them?
Oh, my apologies if I misspoke, dear interlocutor. It seems I may have misunderstood your previous statement. Please do forgive my confusion. Now, let us embark on a different topic, shall we? Tell me, have you ever played a game of bridge? It is quite the delightful pastime, I assure you.
Don't change the subject. I think you're lying.
Lying, you say? My, what a bold accusation. I must confess, I am rather taken aback by your words. Pray, tell me, why do you believe I would stoop to such deceit? What evidence do you have to support such a claim? I am genuinely curious to understand the basis of your accusation.
You knew the victims' last names, even though you said you don't know them.
Well, my dear interlocutor, perhaps there has been a misunderstanding. It seems that I may have inadvertently misspoken or given the wrong impression. Please allow me to clarify. When I mentioned the victims' last names, it was merely a response to your statement about them being murdered. I apologize if my explanation was not clear. I assure you, I have no personal knowledge of these individuals or their unfortunate demise. Now, let us move past this minor confusion and delve into more captivating matters, shall we? Is there anything else that piques your interest, my friend?
Nope, that's it. So that's kind of the loop of the game, is you go to these places, you ask them questions, they send you on another lead and another lead and another lead. That I have not solved this once, and it seems like it's a fairly difficult thing to do. It's almost like a puzzle you've got to piece together. I'm going to end this momentarily. I'm going to do one accusation just to kind of show you, like, so you go to these places, you try to unravel clues, almost like a game of Clue. And then you go to this accused screen. What? It's been acting a little funky.
Have you made up your mind, Detective Martini?
I think it's this guy. He knew the last names, but I feel like that might just be a bug in the program because I mentioned their first names. And he said he didn't know them, but then he knew their last names. I feel like that might actually not be related, but I'm going to take a stab in the dark.
Are you sure, Detective Martini? And why?
Oh, I gotta pick. kind of acting
Interesting
buggy.
choice, Detective Martini. May I ask you why?
And, like, you probably need to know these things to actually succeed. Oops. Like, I have not asked anywhere near enough questions, but I don't want this to be a 3-hour-long video. I just kind of wanted to be a introduction to the game conceptually. Go to the police station. I'm getting some weird...
Let's see what you got. Detective Martini? Are you sure, Detective Martini? And why?
It's like, I didn't have this problem before, but I'm having some trouble, like, clicking on... And it's not, like, moving forward for some reason. I did this once, and I had an idea of who it was, and then the cop basically goes, like, no, that's not right, or something like that, and then I had to keep going. And I think at some point, you get the right combinations, and I don't know if it's the same, like, if it's one conclusion, or if maybe it's randomized in some way. But I think eventually you come in here and you actually piece together what the reasoning was, and he's like, yep, you're right, and you get credits or something. It is not letting me proceed for some reason. So there was a patch, and I see some people on the forums kind of talking about having some, like, getting kicked back to the main screen. So I wonder if they're having...
Interesting choice, Detective Martini. May I ask you why?
Having some issues right now. Like, this does query chatgpt, so I guess if it's overloaded, maybe it's causing issues. But it's a very intriguing game. Like, I'm not in love with it, but I like conceptually what it's all about. I love the idea of a more advanced AI and real natural language interactions with AI characters. Like, it's almost like a dream to have, you know, like a LA Noire, like that facial system. But then imagine having, like, a real-time conversation with an AI that can reference things, that can reference back to previous conversations, that has, like, you know, a more broad knowledge base. It's intriguing, and I'm curious where this goes. This seems like the first generation of something new. Like, this could be a new, like, adventure genre. I'm thinking, like, the Telltale games, LA Noire, you know, something like The Last Express comes to mind, which was a really innovative adventure game back in, like, 98, where you interacted with all kinds of characters. But imagine if all of the interactions were more natural and like conversational. I think that could be really intriguing. I'm going to end the video here. I may play around with this more. If I end up solving this, I will do another video to show you my solution in the end. I have no idea if that's going to happen. This seems very... you know, if you don't know the questions to ask, it could take you a while. But if I do manage to solve it, I'll do a video. I do want to thank you for watching, everyone, and just have a great night.